And send it over.
Oh, we have it. But you passed it. Yes.
We have proof.
They're telling me, no,
It could happen.
just send that.
She went and she changed a few things, but these settings, but it's still good.
And I didn't know, I asked. Caitlin. How was her person with them? Never got an answer. How much came? Call the regular council meeting of the city of Frankfurt, July 15th. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Corella is excused. We have Charters,
Yes.
Hawarda,
Yes.
Olson,
Yep.
Stratton.
Okay, approval of the agenda. Nice and short.
I make a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Any questions? Roll call?
Charters,
Yes.
Hawarda,
Yes.
Olson, Stratton.
Okay, request to appear before council. We have none this evening. Public input. It's good.
Moving right along.
Part. Have one. This time. Okay, moving on to approval of minutes. I do will note, when we have a public hearing, we always follow with a special council meeting right afterwards to deal with the public hearing issue. So it looks like we have a lot of meetings, but we don't.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of regular council meeting 6/17/25, public hearing minutes 6/23/25, special council meeting 6/23.
Questions? Roll call.
Charters,
Yes.
Hawarda,
Yes.
Olson,
You.
Stratton.
Okay, now we're moving on to our
Fun stuff.
bills.
Okay,
Prepaids.
I'll make a motion to approve prepaid vouchers 57617357693 HRA 9045 through 9066, the amount of $150,385.81, which $21,503.80 for marina fuel. Payroll voucher number 42624 through 42765 and EFT 818 through 832, the amount of $265,168.69, of which $117,845.98 for wages, $28,584.56 for employee retiree benefits, $4,087.60 for employee deductions, $26,175.11 for federal tax deposits, and $88,475.44 for MERP.
Just to clarify why so much went into MERS is because we have to pay for the closed police department division, so that's why that was so much. Any questions? Roll call.
Hawarda,
Yes.
Olson,
Yep.
Stratton. Charters.
Yes.
Only the monthly bills.
I'll make a motion approving vouchers 5694 through 57713 in the amount of $112,001.
Second.
Questions? Roll call.
Olson,
Yep.
Stratton. Corella, or he's absent. Charters,
Yes.
Hawarda.
Yes. Okay, council members' reports. I could go to the DDA, so I will report on behalf of Ed. We pretty much, normally we would not have a meeting in July. However, we needed to address, the entertainment for, Iron Man. So they decided to go with, the lesser of all of these options. And we did make a motion to hire a DJ for the event and combined with the kids' games, have a bigger budget not to exceed $1,000. And that passed. We talked about the bag, the bricks, very well received. They were closing participant survey on June 27th, and I went online, but I haven't seen the results from the participants yet. We had a lengthy discussion about sidewalk use and merchandise display. And I see through today's email that Josh has sent out a letter to all of the merchants. Brenna did? Well, thank you. Thank you. So anyway, to explain to them what our ordinance says and that we need to stick to that. Don't think we had any other things of matter. We did discuss, we did elect officers again. We always do that at the 1st of July. Rick Schmidt is still the chair, co-chair is Steve Campbell. There's some pairs, and I got nominated for treasurer, and Karen Lenar will be remaining as the secretary. So that was pretty much it. I did not go to the housing commission, however, there's minutes in the packet for any questions. And fire advisory, we did not have a meeting, but I believe that now it's scheduled for August 14th.
Yes.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. And that's pretty much Ed's report by me. Mr. Curtis.
Yeah, Personnel Committee met on July 7th. Primary discussion for that was the police department. We went through evaluations on the end of the probationary period with our new police chief. And everything was very good with that. I think that he's doing a splendid job. We talked about vacation with his position, as well as we talked through some of the officer reviews. And we talked about some of the potential candidates that we've been getting so far. So that's what the personnel committee discussed during that day. The finance committee met, but I will let the mayor talk about that. It was a pretty easy meeting this time. Water and sewer did not meet. Planning commission did not meet. Blua, we met last week, or I'm sorry, last month, on the Thursday right after council, and we approved the first payment application for the contractor, and we're going to be approving the next payment application for the contractor. The Blua has been operating just fine, no issues with that, no disruptions because of construction. They're moving right along. They're approximately 10% complete. They're working on the wet well excavation and dewatering of the same, but everything's moving along there slowly. The contractor's doing a good job, very well organized, and that. So I don't foresee any issues with that. We'll be approving the next application for payment this coming Thursday. The Marine Authority did not meet, and that's the end of my report for this one.
Because they have started on, and I see that the tanks are gone with this hot weather? Has there been any complaints about the smell? I haven't noticed any.
I did one.
Yeah.
I did one day,
This morning,
but not a lot. And that's gonna be one of the beauties of, in a kind of a side benefit from the project that we're doing. The project was to put in some new screening to eliminate the solids in the waste, such as what they classify as rag. So it could be diapers, it could be different things that get flushed down, and so that's gonna help eliminate that. But the byproduct of doing that with the guard screens is having a closed facility so that the odor will not be escaping in theory. So that's gonna go on for a little bit longer, but it's definitely coming to an end.
sure. Yeah, because you would notice it. If it was that true.
That's right. I noticed at my house.
And I,
Six.
and I'm just gonna make a clarification with this construction work at the facility, at the Blue Oak facility. No disruption in service whatsoever is anticipated. This is all being done in segments and in stages, and there should be absolutely no disruption to service. I've gotten lots of questions out on the street that, oh my gosh, you're doing all this work, are we gonna have issues being able to flush our toilets and so on and so forth? No, there should be no issues whatsoever. So just as a point of clarification, that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, such to me, personnel, as Dale has recorded. Finance, we did meet, we pretty much were just going over our fiscal year 24-25. So far, we're looking okay. There are no funds that we will need to do. Anyway, we're good. And the auditors will be coming the end of September, I believe,
The third week,
the third weekend, September.
third week in September.
And they've committed to that?
They committed at our last meeting when he was here and did his presentation, and I followed up twice, so.
Good, thank you.
And we are scheduling again, it's too early in the new fiscal year, to go over any of our new fiscal year, but we are gonna meet again on August the 13th at 9 o'clock. Again, to look at 24-25 and see if there's any adjustments that need to be made at that. The tree board did not meet in July. However, there's a group coming in August. I think it's a bicycling tour. Isn't it?
For the trees.
Tour of the trees, and there's a lot of people coming that know a lot about trees. So we're trying to drum up as many people as we can to come to that and hear what they've got to say. So that is pretty much grant committee. I just want to clarify, we don't need. If Josh has a 50-50 grant, then we talk about that. But if he goes out for a grant that is no match, contacts me and I say, go for it. And that's pretty much where we're at with grants. So that's pretty it. Mr. Johnson.
Okay. See, public safety, we met the week before the 4th of July, basically solely to discuss 4th of July preparation and operations. I guess I could let either chief touch on how they thought things went for the 4th. So that's about the extent of that meeting. Rec board met July 7th. We talked about the dog park, getting some signs up as far as rules, that kind of stuff. Pickleball, we talked about pickleball courts have been striped. light blue paint, there's still some landscaping that needs to be done out there that we'll just kind of work on as we go along. We can also discuss, the bathroom. We were at this time, and I don't know since Josh, this is whether or not DNR has approved our plans for the beach bathroom. When approved, we're gonna put a coming soon banner down there. Just so that there's no surprises. Then, we also touched on Bellows Park. The Moby Mat is in down there and getting quicker to use. We talked about, maybe next step at Bellows would be, the ADA dock, kayak launch. So we'll be working towards that, in the near future to procure one of those. That goes hand in hand with the grant. Why we got that grant bathrooms that we have an ADA compliant dock. About it for rec board. Airport. Pretty much business as usual out the airport at the moment. We're looking at skydive. Charlevoix is trying to set up a couple of dates to come here. To do skydiving out of our airport, which would be pretty cool. I'm already signed up. So we continue to see, regular operations, so I'm sure everybody does things fine now. Fuel sales are going decent, so. Memorandum of understanding between all entities has been okay on that. So that's all I have.
Can I ask a question on the skydive?
Yeah.
How will that get like advertised or marketed or?
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from Keely. She's our recording secretary at the airport and she works for Skydive Charlevoix. So right now she is trying to find 2 different dates. I'm waiting to hear those dates. And then I will definitely talk to you because she said she needs at least 10 to make it worth the while of the company to come down. And I know of at least 3 to 5 right now that want to do it,
Okay,
just in my list.
So we updated?
Yes, I'll get your number.
Any other questions? Okay.
I attended the public safety meeting, but really covered that.
Alrighty. Commissioner Christina. Yes. Better be in here than tonight's.
That's right, that's right. Okay, so some things that are going on in the county. So, one thing that happened, during this term of Board of Commissioners is we pulled back on some of the committees that the commissioners attend. And so this was our 6 months, and so we kind of looked at that and decided that we would reach out to the entities that we pulled back on and see if they wanted commission support to come back. So we did that. We also changed our study session timing, so every once a month there's a study session that happens with the Board of Commissioners. We had changed that to be just a half an hour after the last meeting ends. We have now moved that to 1:30 because we're finding it difficult how people went to be at the meetings if it was just a half an hour after the other one, and so we have some better consistency there. We also accepted 2 resignations from the Benzie Transportation Authority. So Benzie Bus has 2 openings there. One thing that Katie has been trying to do is at each meeting talk about the openings that we have at the county. And so just like I'm sure all of you have need of volunteers, so does the county. So if you know anybody, check out the website. Let's see what else I want to talk about. I have a thing here. Another thing I want to talk about was the animal shelter. So what's happening is our animal shelter is not going to be compliant very soon. What they need to have in the animal shelter is an epoxy floor, and they need to have 24-hour access to go in and outside. And because of the shape of the hill, that's not gonna happen. And it's the Traverse City to regionalize with, so we put together an ad hoc committee. And so they are going to investigate what that might look like, regionalizing with Traverse City, Grand Traverse. One thing to note there is that Leelanau might come in with us just as a tenant, they said. Apparently they do not have the same animal problem, or I mean animal stray situation that the rest of us do. So they said they might board one a year or something like that. So that's why they decided they want to. So I don't know, maybe you can go with Leelanau and see what they do. Also, the county has a new search feature on their recycling, on the recycling page. So if you go to the county under government recycling, I did put the link in my report here if you want to look at that. They have a search feature to check out on the website. So say you have, I don't know, so I have a big giant mattress that I need to get rid of. And then you can search in there and it will tell you where you can get rid of your big giant mattress. So anyway, those were a few of the highlights I had. Any questions for me?
Thank you.
Sure.
A couple months ago, we talked about getting together with Cherry Capital,
Yes,
and have you talked with him recently?
I have not talked with him recently.
Okay,
Do you want
I would like to set something up, but it's gonna have to be kind of toward the end of August. For myself. And I'm asking simply because it was brought up in our DDA meeting. About the possibility of putting fiber down where the Lucky property is for sale. That would be enticing, I guess, for anybody. Business wise, but we need to know costs.
Okay.
And see if we can work with them on that. And I see their trucks are around a lot, so they must be connecting a lot.
I can reach out to Tim Malone.
Yeah, well, we were gonna get together with Christine and but
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I misunderstood.
but yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, Michigan Shores is gonna be reaching out to them too about extending Michigan Avenue. I don't know, Michigan Shores is interested,
But why are we as a city trying to
Well,
entice the sale of private property?
Well, no, we're not doing that, we're just, it was brought up in DDA that the person that is interested in the property really needs.
should write that. To make the, that's a grant funding, it's kind of
Yeah.
investment.
Yeah, so.
All of them, all the numbers of it.
Yeah, well, and not that we're gonna pay for it or anything like that, but let's start, because our last conversation was pretty much. That the city felt that not all of the businesses on Main Street needs fiber. If they can get along without it, and some of the businesses have already done the fiber with Spectrum, so. We gotta sort out what really is the need, and we talked more about, them going into the resident area. And so that would really be on them. We just need to know what their plan is.
I apologize, I misunderstood. I thought, the idea was that you would come to a TPA meeting. So if you want to do something like that, you can definitely set something up.
Well, let's let Jeff touch base with them
Sounds good.
before he goes on vacation. And get some kind of an idea, okay?
You
All
got
right,
it.
that's the only question I.
So can you elaborate a little bit further on this animal shelter? And I apologize if I didn't hear you clearly. Is this a temporary thing, or are they looking to do this as a permanent thing to team with Traverse City?
So the idea, so again, we don't know much about regionalization when it comes to animal shelters. As far as we know, there aren't folks that do that, and so we know that our animal shelter is gonna be out of compliance, so we need to do something. We also, Grand Traverse is in a situation too, where they could be losing their animal shelter as well. And so it was just one of these things, well, gosh, I'm gonna lose mine, me too, well, maybe we need to look at this together. It was just one of those little
Okay,
things, and so this is just investigation. And
Okay.
the ad hoc committee is being formed just to look at it. What would it look like? Has this been done before?
yeah.
Does this make sense?
Do you have any idea what it would take to put our animal shelter into compliance, a dollar amount? Renovations?
My understanding, and again, I haven't actually seen it.
Sure.
But it's my understanding it's kind of butted up against the hill. And so where the animals come out is in front. There's a new, and they just, have this new fenced area in the front and whatnot, and so they bring the animals out. At certain times of the day. But yes, in order for. I don't know.
Okay.
And we didn't really discuss that, it just, what it felt like was, oh my gosh. This is daunting, it seems like a new shelter, or something else would make more sense. And so it's just investigation.
You mentioned that they would be in compliance, is it because they can't get out 24/7
Correct,
on their own without being paid?
correct,
Okay.
because apparently these
Kennels.
thank you, these kennels in the back. You know, do not open up to the outside, because there is people there. And so, yes, they bring them out and take them to the front where their running is.
Okay. That's what.
And that's why it would have to be major renovations, it'd have to be a major project, and then it's a major project. Do we investigate something else?
Got it.
And anyway, so again, this is just investigation, this is coming down the road, just trying to get ahead of it.
Okay. Thank you, Christine.
Mhm.
We'll be in touch. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Oh, and I should mention to you that we're gonna do the annual budget as well. So. We're in budget.
We're on.
We're still up. Congratulations.
Thanks. Okay, department reports, Chris?
Starting out, we're in our new year. June 30th was the end of our fiscal year. We're making preparations for the audit. Delinquent taxes update, received correspondence, and we're going to be working with Leslie Abdu. She's with Foster Swift. And in her letter, the regular rate that they usually charge is $360. However, due to listed the reasons for government, $270 is what she is going to be charging for this project. If correct.
The old ones.
Correct. So if the cost were to be more, she would take it to the city council, be approved prior. Still looking at this to be around the $5,000 mark as a whole for all the entities to take this delinquent personal property taxes to the court to have it taken off our roll, which is going to benefit us significantly because we can actually close the 302 fund that's been sitting open. So
How much is that?
I did not put it in there. It was close to
I was
7,000.
thinking 6,900 rings a bell.
Yeah, it was close to 7. We did receive our cloud update. We're going to be starting the conversion September 8th. Go live is October 27th. So between that time frame, we will have 2 days that we will be down where we won't be able to enter, or all we can do is look only. No entries, no payroll, no accounts payable, no cash receiving. So we'll be able to be doing that by hand, but if we have anything, we'll be using that as part of training that following week. So does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I want to go back to that. So there's approximately $7,000 or so in delinquent taxes, right?
Correct.
And so is there, and it sounds like this, we're hiring this this is a specialized attorney and I don't have a question with the bill rate or what, but we're gonna have to spend $5,000 to wipe $7,000 off our books.
As a whole, as it reads here, it'll be divided amongst the municipalities on a monthly basis. So there's us, there's like, I think there's 13 in the whole Benzie County. I think there's 6 or 7, there may be more, that are all gonna be part of this. So that 5,000 gets divvied between all of us.
There's not a administrative procedure or whatever that we can do to just wipe it out.
No, you have to take it to court. You have to take, it has to be a petition to the court, to the judge.
A lot of these businesses are long gone. We have no idea where the original owner is.
Okay,
On May 29th is when the council approved it and we,
just throwing more money at bad money. But if that's what we have to do,
That's what we have to do to get them off the books, or else go through court individually on each one of these individual ones.
okay,
In fact, and
okay, fair enough.
then we became our to go.
Right, I just didn't make initial sense.
Okay.
Anyway, okay. Thanks, Chris.
Right. Any other questions for Chris? Jack,
I want to start out by just saying the 4th of July went very well. And then her team did an excellent job. Chief Katz and his officers did an amazing job. Fire Chief Cedar Home, as always, did a great job. I mean, just the synergy, the seasonal staff. The day after the 4th of July, we had some of our full-time staff come out and help clean the beach up. Essentially restore the whole city in less than 24 hours. Officer Katz and his team, though, I gotta give an amazing amount of kudos. No incidents throughout the day. A gentleman with dementia got lost with his family. And through some work through social media and people paying attention, we were able to find this gentleman and return him to his family. So, you know, kind of like finding a needle in a haystack type situation. We're blessed with the department we have, so excellent job, Chief and your staff, as well as you, Chief Cedar. Everything just went so well that day, so kudos, thank you.
any hiccups on your end, Brenna, that you need help with or?
There was one comment from the fireworks shooters, because people had started to jump the barricades on the pier and get out there. And someone from Chief Cedar Home's team mentioned maybe pushing those out a little bit so they can't walk along the side and just put them in past the water line. Not to say that they won't push them over, but maybe that would help. That was just one thing that the firework gentleman that was shooting them off mentioned.
Got that dialogue too.
Yeah.
Actually, I think later on we ended up moving those out.
Yeah.
later.
Yep.
It's kind of goes back in the days where we had that gate at here
Yeah.
on several occasions and people just go in the water, climb a ladder.
Yeah,
It's the purpose of-
right. Yeah, maybe do that too. I think that was it though.
I heard through the grapevine that the parade coordinator, that was her last year, so you might be looking for.
Can I talk to her and say? We talk you.
Alright, yeah, let's do it, do that. Great one.
It went very smoothly.
Yeah,
It was the only hesitant, and I found out afterwards from my great grandson, that was the highlight of the parade when the ladder. The fire trucks stopped with the ladder and did a little demonstration. So. That was the only holdup.
Yeah, it was a great event. I don't know if anyone's aware, but we're part of a. Sampling program that's put together by the Benzie and Leelanau Health. And every Wednesday they go out and test the water at all the beaches within the counties. And we get that information back on each Wednesday and our readings have been great. In line, one of the lowest around. So I just wanted to share that with you, that's something that doesn't hurt everything. As part of that Beach 500 program, our crew did an excellent job restoring the beach out at 7th Street at Bells Park. The level of Crystal Lake was the drain commissioner. I don't know what the whole situation is, but Crystal Lake is under a court order to remain at a an elevation that's about 600.2 feet. Based on a 1927 vertical data. But it ended up going 4 inches higher. And there was a storm, that's a big body of water, and it caused a lot of damage around the shore, and it impacted our beach and what we've done, and we've lost about 6 feet of beach.
Well, I wonder if Christina, do you have much contact with the drain commissioner?
I can speak to some of that, yes, so.
Because it's my understanding, when I talked with Josh previously, that they're can't get a hold of.
Yes, so that did come up at our meeting. I didn't necessarily put this in the report. But the chair asked, well, is that something that we can address? While we cannot. It, it is not, something for us to, we can't compel somebody to do something, but we can ask them to come in front of us and speak to that. And so we've asked the drain commissioner to, I believe, to come in front of us and speak to that. I know, he had a meeting with, Edie, and it sounds like there might be something with, his phone. So I don't know. I think he's going to be addressing that at least, somehow. It's my understanding too that, his deputy Craig, if you get a hold of him, he is very responsive.
Now, who is the drain commissioner now? Because it changed in the last.
Phoebe,
Okay. Okay,
Yeah, it's an elected position.
yeah, it's. Yeah. We don't have any,
asked drain commissioner, come in front of us, and speak to.
Well, and how long so we can avoid this in the future, right?
yeah,
Correct, so it's all in the spirit of, hey, this is something that's going on and.
This is important.
yeah,
So
Excellent.
the county knows that there's an issue there and we're working with the drain commissioner to figure it out.
Well, I'm sure Benzonia Lake and Crystal Township will also want to have some input.
Yes, they have all, they're all reaching out and get a hold of him, and so, yes. We're all trying to work together to go forward.
Sorry.
Yeah.
well, and also ours, the meeting that I was at, they complimented on. The beach and what, all the grass and lawn and so on and so forth, so.
It's an optical illusion, it's actually, it's the lowest spot of the South Shore now, so water, get water both directions.
They complimented on how nice it looked this year.
We have the fountain barricaded, you can still get a drink, it's still, there's no issues, but the mineral content weakens the mortar and the brick. And we've been doing Band-Aids every couple of years to restore that and prolong the life. We're real happy with what we did a couple of years ago. There's damage. So we're gonna take all the brick off the exterior. We did some interior work and see really what we had to work with. And maybe go back to more of an exterior wooden type environment, kind of like it was years ago. But we gotta do some research and investigating, see what we have, and we need to do something to avoid doing this every. The brick looked nice, but it's just not gonna get the longevity we need, that mineral content, so. But we do test the water, everything's great with it. People are still able to get drinks, we just don't want people to jump on it. We got the same situations. We need to move a little bit more quicker, on that, just to avoid winter issues. But it's gonna require some collective minds to come together on this, I believe. So. We'll get going on it as soon as we can.
I like the idea of the wood, kind of look like a barrel.
Yeah, that's what they did years ago. Trying to figure out how we're gonna do that, but.
We need a good cooper.
That,
We need a good cooper.
yeah. Well, a lot going on. We got our water permit for the Michigan Avenue project. That'll be going up a bit here shortly. And again, we're coordinating with the grant coordinator with the DNR on the bathroom design to get going on as soon as possible. We actually have a phone conference with her on Thursday. So between Jeff Cockfield and myself and the architect will bring it in the fold too. Lot going on. Any questions for me?
Have a nice vacation.
So I wanna just take a quick minute, to recognize Josh. August 21st, will complete 25 years with the city. So that's a big milestone.
Not sure that with our clerk treasurer.
Yeah,
We were both hired on the same day.
congratulations. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
That's a nice milestone.
I had amazing hair.
Any other questions for us? Okay, do the police, Mark?
Oh, well, from, June 12th through July 8th was the period for this report, and we had 122 law enforcement related calls. That breaks our record of 82 from 2 months ago. And this compared to the numbers for the same period last year, there were 32 calls. So we went up from 32 to 122. Various reasons for that. The Independence Day was the big hurdle for me this year. We got signage out early with the help of Officer Hutchinson and the DPW crew. We got signage out early. I think that helped to get the parade route cleared. When I came in at 6:30, well, first Officer Hutchinson and I both came in at midnight on the 3rd and helped Officer Jewell put the barricades out along with 2 guys from the fire department. Also felt like helping. So we were able to take a 3 to 5 hour job and combine it into a 1 hour job and got everything done for the ADA parking at the end of Main Street as well as the entire parade route. And so when I came in at 6:30, there were only 5 vehicles in the parade route, and they all moved shortly after 9 a.m. So we didn't have to tow anything. Didn't have to tow any cars. So everybody was happy. Everybody moved. The parade was very long. It was hot standing underneath the blinker light directing traffic. I think maybe next year I'll switch with Joel, and I'll drive the air conditioned car and he can direct.
Good job, Ted.
But everything went well for the parade. The fireworks preparations all went well. We had very few complaints from, I would say, related to the holiday. Most of the complaints we had were normal day-to-day complaints, domestic violence kind of thing, and a couple other ones. The big one that took up a lot of our time was the missing person Josh mentioned. I think that came in just shortly after the fireworks, or just shortly before the fireworks started. So we were vigilant looking for that person. And then I want to give props to the crews at the Dairy Maid and the Cool Spot for helping locate this gentleman. Apparently his love for ice cream added to his salvation. And so the crew at the Dairy Maid saw the Facebook post that emergency management posted with a picture of the gentleman from that evening. And one of the crew saw the picture, remembered him being at the Dairy Maid, saw him walk towards the Shell station. So we took our focus from the beach to the east end of town. And then once traffic cleared out, I made a loop back through checking businesses. The Cool Spots lights were on. Checked with them. They hadn't seen him, but on their way home, noticed him walking on M115 almost to Mullineau, or just by the cut across, the little short cut across. So we were able to pick him up out there. If it wasn't for his khaki pants, he was really hard to see, but
It's a good thing you didn't get hit all the time.
yeah, it's amazing that he didn't. And I just chatted with him when I was giving him a ride back. He just said there were just so many people on the beach. He just had to get away from them. And he did that. He accomplished that. But If anybody tells you, Frank, or that, ice cream is bad for you, disregard that information, it's bad. Also want to give a big thanks to, where'd I put it? Oh, no. Jeez. There was another page.
That was.
Yeah, anyway, Josh knows, the two, summer guys,
Oh,
Ethan and Chris.
Ethan and Chris. Huge thanks to them for getting all the barricades staged for us. So all we had to do was slide them into position. They did a tremendous amount of work, getting that stuff ready, getting stuff dug out of the basement for us. And, big thanks to them.
Those young men do an excellent job.
They do, yeah. And they, anything I asked them to do, they got right on and did it, so. Big thanks to those guys. So,
and your applications, deadline is Friday, August 1st.
August 1st, correct.
Any other questions or comments to the police chief? Mike, fire.
We had 29 EMS runs in June and 4 fire calls. In July so far, as of the 15th day, we've got 21 EMS calls and 1 fire run. Breakdown of the calls for the year report. One of the things I want to comment on is the fire advisory board for talk with other entities Thursday, August 14th at 6 p.m. Fire station, probably post that once again. Clarification and approval from them. Each of you will be given a draft of the Franklin Fire Department's SOPs and SOGs. In a 2-year process, going and revising our 24 SOGs by city council. I will probably, as time permits, I don't expect you to read it in a couple of weeks, probably couple of months, probably get a lot of stuff. Yeah, ask for, we'll probably review in August and then we'll probably in September. So we can move forward on that. SOPs and SOGs are generally required by NIOSH, and that's one of the things that you get paying for is not having them and number one, and then not following. So, those are safe.
And that is a requirement.
Yes, it is on the
Okay.
So,
Well,
check.
never seen so much.
Other topics here to talk about is, let's see, we're let's see, 19th for review about September. Currently, right now in July, as you heard, my pager just went off. Now 45 medical calls, now in 15. Our average is generally, last year was 61, we're at 45, we still got half a month to go. We've had 9 fire calls and we had 20 last year, so it's a little bit different. We're averaging 3 calls a day right now, 4 calls. 4th of July was really something. We had that accident that closed off M22. Right there by Market, Market Court, and you had to shut it off right there and literally tapped every one of my resources. I had to clear out Alberta for traffic control, clear out, the city was there, I had one person on stage there for medical, and cleared us all off of Market Circle. We could cover traffic control, and the parents came in the other day at the fire station, thanked us that something's alive. Because of our swift response, and that was.
Nice.
Good kid, do better.
Do better every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was no call left unanswered by this department during this time period at all. We never call. Training, we did our MIOSHA required training, vehicle extrication. I've dropped off, actually, and now you'll start seeing cars being dropped off at the fire station. As night crew gets their experience and plays with the JAWS and their team, And then each crew creating basically task force teams that can play and just start tearing cars apart.
Where do you get those stairs from?
They actually come from. There's a place up north that has vehicles that have no titles or are basically abandoned.
Oh.
And they can't be sold, but they can be destroyed. They're happy to take them. So cut them up, do whatever you wanna do with them. And that's what I encourage them to get judged.
If you haven't seen it in action, I did, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
How they.
Building. A copy of the used fire truck. I'm looking for next steps. Brian Carpenter to look at this. Take a trip down to Oregon, Ohio.
I was hoping that, I don't know which should come first, if we look at the money's available first.
Yes.
Before you go down there, and I was hoping that, to see. I think we're gonna be okay, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it will drain. So that's what I was in hopes that we could discuss in that financial meeting in August. There's it for me.
Right.
So there's actually with me, yeah.
Is there a timeline, like they have somebody else that's kicking tires on this?
Well,
No.
I had mentioned to Thomas that we are interested, we're also looking at value. Currently have to see what we have to offsets.
That's true, yeah.
And I'm looking at, we're gonna keep everything that's on that truck. One thing that'll go with that truck when we sell it is the ladders that came with it. But as far as all the appliances, hoses and everything else, we'll stay at the station.
And
This
it's got
one-
all new tires too.
Yeah, this one's got all new tires on it and what's also. Nice is it's fully loaded here, it's got all the appliances, they're just, all the appliances, hoses and everything are going right with this truck, that's more on files. They're literally. Giving it to us with everything. A new ladder truck is $2.4 million, it's $185,000. It's got 1,500 miles on
That's it.
it, that's it.
Yeah, for a refinery, yeah.
Refresh my memory of who it is that you would like to send down there.
I would like to send, and I've talked to Mike Johnson, he's does the maintenance for the county. He's a certified technician,
Road commission,
yeah, for the road commission.
okay.
And then Brian Carpenter is our emergency vehicle technician from Axes and Irons, which is one of the companies that the representative down there is one that got it through our rep here that we were looking for a ladder truck. And the reason they're getting rid of this ladder truck is because they have two of them, they protected refinery. That's down there, and the refinery bought two ladder trucks, so they just moved to a new station, they don't need, so they need one ladder truck, but they don't need two. And this being their oldest one, which is a 2002, is better than our 1990, which we're not being able to get parts for, and I guess question was asked, can we get parts for this one? So according to Mike, this is a Navistar engine, well, even though it says Detroit diesel version, I didn't know that Navistar was, Detroit Diesel was contracting with Navistar to build their engines. This is a 580, which, well, climb these hills, currently our 300 doesn't climb hills very well, so this one will have no problems. It's got a lot of positives.
I hope it'll work out for you. Yes. If you need information sooner, just let us know.
Okay, my question was, are they? Yes, the people. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good, good. Very good.
Mike, with that. Or of a day or.
No, that's been,
Do an analysis of why it went down.
you know, Motorola is not cell words, I have no idea.
Okay.
Did you hear anything, Marcus, why that tower went down for that period?
No, it almost seemed a little. Hush hush,
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Oh,
might have been like a software or something glitch or someone somewhere turned something off. They weren't supposed to.
On their end that they don't want to.
Correct, correct. All right,
all right. Moving on, no old business, on to new business. Zoning Board of Appeals and Housing Commission appointments. Uh, Okay, we have a new person, Annie Browning, who is willing to serve on the zoning board of appeals. Cause Steve Drew, I believe, stepped down, correct, Chris?
Correct.
Okay, and, so therefore, then we have to, correct the term that Mr. Drews was on. So I'll make the motion, no second needed, to appoint Annie Browning to the zoning board of appeals for a 3-year term. Set to expire 7/16/2028, and correct the term for Steve Drews on the housing commission. That is set to expire on 4/8/2028. Questions? Roll call?
Stratton. Charters.
yes,
Florida.
Yes.
Olson.
Well, Andy, you have death by fire tomorrow.
Yeah,
I don't order the field meeting.
Annie, if you'll just step in my office before the meeting, I'll swear you in. Thank you.
Lockhart Field Agreement Renewal.
So by charter, we have 3-year agreements. Lockhart Field's an interesting facility. It's a city park owned by the city of Frankfurt. Leased by the school, maintained by a not-for-profit corporation referred to the Frankfurt Alberta Athletic Association. It's a fine facility, the motto of that facility is for the people, by the people. So the improvements that you see there have all been done through donations, grant funding, those types of things, but it's time that we renew 3-year agreement, and that contract is attached for review.
Has there ever been discussion of selling said park to the school and let them
That's come up,
manage it, run it,
that's come up,
take the city out of it?
that's come up, it's never gained any real momentum.
I don't know if that's a good idea or a
Yeah.
bad idea, just wonder if
It's-
there's discussion.
Well, and it's complex because a lot of facilities like that are owned by school districts and they're
Right.
funded by villages. That's the reality of those. Ours is unique in that it's not done that way. But with that said, it's still one of the finer facilities. Around as far as football, baseball, softball. But yeah, we've had some initial conversations with that, like a 10-year land contract deal with the school type thing. If that was something serious, we'd have to do a referendum because of the way our charter.
Right, we can't just be going and giving out city parks.
Yeah, and then we'd have to look at. How Mr. Lockhart conveyed that, that's all.
Just something.
Yeah, there's been some conversations through the years. I think the school loves the arrangement for obvious reasons.
Sure. Works out great for them.
Josh, is there any change in language besides just dates?
No, it was Gates, even the basic agreement of the amount is unchanged, so.
Okay, I'll make a motion to renew a 3-year lease agreement commencing July 1st, 2025. Between the city of Frankfurt and the Frankfurt Alberta Athletic Association for maintenance and improvement of Lockhart Field.
Second,
And Chris, I could come and sign that in the morning when I come and do checks.
Sure.
Okay. Any questions? Roll call.
Charters.
yes,
Florida.
Yes.
Olson.
Yep.
Stratton.
Okay, personnel recommendation, vacation time. Do you, as chair of personnel, wanna?
Yeah, I mean,
Present
it
this?
basically says we, like I said, we filled out evaluations forms, we went through that, we, the chief had some concern as with the original agreement, we said that, you know, to get through the probationary, period and we would take a look at things at that time. And so we did, and so, the personnel committee supports from, from July basically to the end of the year to give him a week's vacation effective immediately. And then upon, hiring of the additional officer to grant him 3 weeks versus the 2 weeks listed in his current agreement. With the hiring of an additional officer, once that happens, there won't be shortages associated with being gone as much, and that's the recommendation of the personnel committee.
Questions?
Okay, so. So you're saying out of the 2 weeks that he has coming at the end of the year, correct? You
Yep.
wanna give him,
An additional week. Yep.
but you wanna give him a week effective immediately,
Yes,
out of that 2 weeks.
yes.
From the evaluations. that
Yes.
we did, because we said we would look at it after 6 months. And
So it's not in addition to, it's out of that.
Okay. So. All new hires start at. 1 year, you get 1 week, 1 year of service, you get 1. After 2 weeks of service, you get 2 weeks. After 3, then it goes to 5 years, you get 3 weeks. And then after 10 years, you get 4 weeks. So why are we bumping him up 3 after a year? Every other department head has to start
well,
on this policy. We have a policy in place. Why are we not following the policy that we set in place for vacation?
let me address that. When Hutch was hired,
Mm-hmm.
we did a letter of understanding with the union because he had years of experience. So he was awarded at that time more weeks of vacation because of his experience.
Right.
So we're kind of following that pattern.
Well, then why do we even have a vacation policy in place? We're just gonna deviate from it all the time.
Cause usually it's a new hire, somebody, that doesn't have the years of experience that the chief has.
Okay. Well, welcome the fire chief is only at 2 weeks vacation after 3 years of service then.
I can't speak when Chief Cedarholm was hired, I wasn't part of that process. But that's what was required. These are all department heads, these are individual contracts with each of the departments.
That's right, and we agreed to a contract and we adjusted it when we hired Mark. I have the minutes right here in front of me. That we approved the police chief contract.
Yep.
For 2 weeks after the first year.
Right. But it
So
was
why are we opening up negotiations after only 7 months?
well, we said that there was gonna be an evaluation after 6 months.
I understand,
Probationary, and based on his performance and what he's done,
I'm not putting his performance, I think he's doing a great job.
we feel that that's warranted. The personnel committee feels that's warranted.
I would be fine giving him a week effective immediately. I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
But keeping it at 2 weeks for the first year. That's the motion I will make.
Okay,
I think that's fair.
well, I guess I'd like to make a motion as presented.
Well, he made a motion
Oh, sure.
first, so then
We need
we need a second,
to-
because he made a motion. So immediately and then.
2
2.
weeks and after his first year. Is what the motion was.
Got it.
Is there a second? No second, then
Actually, you know what, I don't think that we can do have a written.
Seconded by
Maybe keep it
Stratton.
in line and maybe down the road consult HR person to help
So-
get with this stuff.
And I think giving him a week
now,
effective immediately is very fair.
and then in December at his year, he gets 2 weeks. In addition to this one,
No. He would get 2 weeks per the year. And then when his contract comes up for review in the year. Then we can negotiate our vacation, what's the few
this contract doesn't come up until
of points.
June.
26.
I just feel like we've set this policy in place, and if we're just gonna consistently deviate on that. I understand, he's got years of experience and, that it's not going unnoticed. If we're gonna do this, we should be fair on the board as far as we keep doing this.
So just to be clear, your motion is for 1 week immediately.
Now he's already getting an additional week. Of beyond what the policy that we have set in place is.
That's,
So the total that you're speaking of is 2 weeks
2 weeks.
to go to 26.
Yes, unless he wants to try and open it back up at some point, in another 6 months or 7 months. We can have that discussion again.
Any other?
I think this is more than fair.
So then 1 week upon his anniversary, then you're saying.
Correct.
Okay,
Any
so
other
we
comments?
first and second, okay.
Roll call?
Charters,
no.
Florida,
No,
Guys,
Florida,
I said no.
Olson,
Yes.
Stratton. It
Motion
says,
died,
yep,
correct?
yep.
So. A different motion, then if you wanna move forward with it at this time or table it.
I make a motion that we table it until we have a full council present as well, because I think Ed would like to weigh that, just as stated. Weigh in very heavily, as he was the one that made the initial motion. Piece. When we first discussed this.
Okay, we'll table it to
Still have to have a second and then roll call.
second, then. Roll call,
Charters,
Sunday,
Yes.
August, yeah,
Florida,
yes,
Olson, Stratton.
okay,
It's carried.
Mills vacation carryover. Judge, has 32 hours that he would like to carry over after the vacation time, obviously, but they will be used up instead of on his anniversary date by the 27th of August. Any questions?
I've kind of targeted these 2 weeks, in August, since I was able to have 2 weeks. Well, 20 years ago. But this year I'm pushing it out a week because I'm gonna be speaking in Lansing. And that's would normally be used up, but I'm asking just to carry it over the next week.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to approve vacation carryover time for the city superintendent Joshua Mills as presented. Any other discussion? Roll call,
Florida,
yes.
Olson, Stratton. Charters,
yes,
Also, I think you all have probably read, the quarterly report, Wyatt. Who is also doing an excellent job. Okay, public input, agenda items only. Who will speak on this issue of the agenda? It was on the.
it's the agenda item. Name and address.
This Nancy Smith. I think he's got people with some amazing experience, these are not people fresh off the boat. To give people 1 week of vacation time for their first year of employment was. I mean, you're not gonna attract good people doing that, and I would contend that. I don't know how much Josh's vacation number is, but you certainly have experienced people here who deserve vacation time, so. I personally get 6 weeks off a year, and without that, I couldn't do my job. I think that. 1 week is efficient, and certainly given the experience of people who've had here. I also would like to know who's leaving this board. I heard 3 people are exiting, so I just was.
It wasn't brought up on the agenda, so we can't answer that.
I'd like that in the agenda next time, listen.
I can tell you after this. Any other?
That's all, I'm right, that's all I would comment to you, is that these guys have experience. And. I think they deserve at least 3 to 4 weeks a year off. I'm sure. Public service, how many years, Chief?
33.
Mr. Getz?
Almost 26.
I think you need to change your.
Yeah, it's.
You can stick with your change, but change them.
Yep, thank you.
I agree.
Any other public input? Motion to adjourn. That's my motion.
Olson, Stratton, Charters,
Yep.
Hawarda.
Yes.
All right.
12 minutes off.
Not bad.
Okay, so let's.
Well, I think the other thing would be.